Hi there, in this video I'm going to revisit my Kingfisher hide and try and get some action shots. This video is part 2 of a 2-part series. In part 1 I did a lot of preparation ready for this shoot. One of the main things that I did in preparation was I sank a bucket into the bottom of the pond and then I filled the bucket with fish. Hopefully this will attract the kingfisher to the perches. Now I'm going to go down to the hide to see if I can get some action shots of the kingfisher. Based on past experience, I think that this will probably take several days or maybe even weeks to get the shots that I'm looking for. You've probably heard me say in lots of videos how important I think it is that you enjoy your photography. Now this all came about because at one point I was entering lots of competitions, I became really competitive and I ended up taking photos to please judges. Now I just take pictures that I enjoy, and if somebody else enjoys them, that's just a bonus. So roll the titles. The kingfisher's been about quite a lot this morning, but it's mainly been on the sides and the back of the pond. Now that does make getting sharp shots really challenging. So what I've tried to do to make sure that I get as clear shots as possible is I've set the camera to aperture priority and set the aperture as wide as I can get. That allows me to get the shutter speed as high as possible. And if the shutter speed still isn't high enough, only then do I rise the ISO above the base ISO just to make sure I get a good shutter speed. Another technique that I've started to use to try and maximise the clarity is to use a mirror lockup function. Now obviously I've got the camera on a tripod, that's a given, but it's surprising just how much vibration is caused by the mirror flipping up in a DSLR, especially when I'm zoomed out to 500mm. Now I have tried using live view, because then that effectively makes the camera a mirrorless camera because the mirror is locked up anyway, but then I've had trouble focusing really quickly and accurately. So I still find that just staying out of live view and using the mirror lockup is probably the most beneficial and the way of getting the most accurate shots at the moment. I have changed the setup slightly. What I've done is I've put a plate into the bottom of the planter so the fish show up a little bit more, and it is working because yesterday I put about 6 or 7 fish in and this morning when I've come down the fish have gone. So something is taking them, and I did leave the planter a good inch above the water so they haven't just got out. So I've been round to the stream quickly this morning to get a few more fish. I think I've got about 5 or 6 in there, so hopefully I might see the kingfisher go into it today. So far I must have been down 5 or 6 times and still not actually seen the kingfisher take fish out, so hopefully today could be the day. But I'll just let you see these as well. Behind me I've stuck an extra post in just here, and this long horizontal log. Hopefully what I might get is the kingfisher sitting on it when it gets a fish, when it starts bashing it. So that might be quite interesting as well. There are several grey wagtails around at the moment that frequently visit perches. They're a really attractive bird with quite a pleasant call. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to click like, subscribe and the bell notifications. That way you'll stay up to date with all of my future content. Many people who watch these videos don't click the subscribe button. It does me a really big favour and helps the channel. I've just had some really good shots of the kingfisher on the front perch. Now, it was looking in the direction of the fish in the planter, but it didn't go in. I have been restocking the fish every day, and have been going, so it seems like I'm just not here at the right time to actually witness the kingfisher going into the planter. So fingers crossed at some point it may happen. I have just managed to film the kingfisher dive into the pond and come out with a fish, but unfortunately she dropped it. I have been watching the kingfisher around the branches around the side of the pond, scanning for fish and then diving into the water. Now what I'm trying to do is predict where it's going to dive, but I'm having absolutely no success. It has just gone into the water and I pre-focused in completely the wrong place, and as it came out and flew across the frame, I managed to get this really shocking photograph of the bird in flight. Not a good one. The kingfisher does regurgitate pellets of undigested food. I've seen it do this quite a few times, and I've just managed to get a shot of it on the front perch with its beak open with what appears to be one of the pellets in its throat. I'm really starting to perfect the technique now of using the cable release and the mirror lockup. It's helping me get some really good shots even from the other side of the pond. Just managed to get some footage that I'm really pleased with. The kingfisher had got a fish in its mouth and it was bashing it on a log and then it swallowed it. So I'm really pleased with that one. If I do see the kingfisher this morning, I think the best I can hope for is to get some video on the vlogging camera. I don't know whether you can hear, but it is raining and I just can't get the shutter speed up fast enough to get any diving shots that I'm really hoping for. But I'll just settle this morning just to actually see it go into the pot to take some fish, because I've never actually seen it. Doesn't look like I'm going to have any luck today. I've sat here for 2.5 hours despite there being fish in the pot. The kingfisher just hasn't appeared. There was one very brief fly past as it flew over the lake. It's strange, some days you get nothing, other days it's there all the time. It's just one of the frustrating parts about wildlife photography. Sadly this morning I've not had any sightings of the kingfisher except for one very brief one where it flew towards the perch, but there was a wagtail already on there, so it didn't really stay. So the hope of getting an action shot of it getting some fish out the bowl is starting to slip away because I'm running out of fish that I can get out of the stream. So I think realistically I might have one more chance at this another day, and then I might have to give it a break for a while. I really wanted to finish this video with some action shots, but I don't think it's going to happen, not this time anyway, for two reasons really. First, I don't want to take any more fish out of the pond and put them in the pot, and so that avenue's closed. And two, I've been down to the hide now for 3 days running and spent probably about 8 hours down here and only got 2 very, very brief sightings of the kingfisher, so for whatever reason it's not visiting the pond at the moment. While I've been down here trying to get the action shots, I have managed to still get some great shots of the kingfisher and some other birds as well, so I'll leave you with some of the best ones. What you've just watched was filmed over 2 weeks, and I spent over 20 hours sitting in the hide getting the footage and the photographs that you've seen. I'm slightly disappointed that I didn't get a picture of the kingfisher diving into the pot, but I am thrilled with the images I did get. I got footage of the kingfisher diving into the water and coming up with a fish. That was good. I've refined my technique. I've got better at taking the shots, and I've enjoyed myself in the process. Hopefully in the coming weeks the kingfisher will start revisiting the perches again and the pond, and so keep an eye out for future videos in case that does happen. Don't forget you can check out my Instagram account, that's at Darrell Oakden Photography. There you can see sneak peeks of photographs before they go into videos. You can also message me there, down below in the comments, or on Facebook. Now I just want to respond to a few family members before I leave you. First of all, my sister thought that these messages that appear here on the left were real. They're actually just me taking the mickey out of myself. So if anybody else thought that these were real messages, they're not. Also, my wife says that she doesn't like the bloopers at the end, but rest assured, they're going nowhere. Hooray! And finally, my mum doesn't like when I swear occasionally in videos, so I want to apologise to her. Mum, I'm really sorry. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, don't forget to click like, subscribe and the bell notifications to be informed of all of my future content. Don't forget to watch out for next week's video. That goes live at 4 o'clock on Sunday, but all that's left now is to say stay safe and I'll see you soon. I've spent about 3 hours in the house, 3 hours in photography. There you can see sneak peeks of videos of both the and the mirror lock up. It's helping me. I'll get this right in a minute.